Capitalism's got to go. I can't keep living on these roads. Broken heater, broken stove, broken Britain, broken soul. Broken system from when it was written. A bunch of rich scumbags were smitten. In a recession you take away, let the disabled and the old decay. Sell off our services and cut the minimum wage. And I can't keep from screaming because what I'm seeing is too much freedom. Set the markets free and we'll let the bastards see that the riots up in Tottenham are not the last of us you'll see. I'm incandescent with rage and your boy from the 70s said rivers of blood, and he was right because I want the Tory treasurer slain. Extreme thoughts in an extreme time for the poor by the seaside to the vulnerable up near Teesside. You can never escape these rhymes. I'm not having your workfare or slave labour schemes. Atos who pass you fit despite your pain and screams. Thatcher started it, she's dead, Labour continued it. Osborne saw the NHS and basically finished it. These millionaires use the Daily Mail to tell their fairy tales, making the poor hate the poorer or force them in shady jails. They've tried to lock me up for hitting feds. If only they knew all the worst stuff I did instead. Now we want those Lib Dem traitors more than spat on. We will raise a legion who will carry on the baton, but for now we'll get our smash on. See you pricks at Millbank, you won't even protect it with a whole line of steel tanks. Hello, my name is Awate. What you just heard was the 4th verse of a song of mine that is yet to be released called Slave. Young people should, simply because it right now it's going to affect them really, really badly. For example, if you're 18 and you're not in university, and by not being, you know, when you're in university, you agree to being in debt of around 50 grand for the rest of your life as soon as you leave, which allows you to have housing. But if you're not, if you're 18, you're not in university, you're never moving out of your mum's house, mate. It's impossible. That just sold off 2 million council houses. They've never built more, and the private rent is extortionate. You've got these rapacious landlords who are out there. In London, it's like £400 for a studio flat. No one, you're not moving out of your mum's house, and that's embarrassing. If you're a young person that's unfortunately not found employment, because that's the way the system works, is that people aren't supposed to be, you're not supposed to have universal employment under the Tory government, or any government really, but, and you're in the unfortunate position of having to sign on, and you're between the ages of 18 to 24, the moment you sign on, they're going to make you go to see Maximus or another private company who are Tory party donors for you to be sent by them to work for free in a shop. If you're young and you're disabled, you might as well die. That's what they're basically saying to you. They're taking people off. You know, Atos are signing people off. If you turn up to an Atos meeting, they sign you off and say, he was able to turn up, I don't know why he can't work, you're fit for work, mate. And if you don't turn up because you're too sick to turn up, they sign you off going, he didn't turn up at the meeting, he's, you know, sign him off. By the way, no one has mentioned the privatisation of the NHS and the fact that on April 1st, it sounds like a cruel joke, it was officially open to competitive tendering. Every section of it was open to it. And no, I've never seen that on the news, but what do you see in the news on the BBC every day? You see stories about how nurses are failing, how doctors are failing, how they're running about and not, you know, not at their shifts, how MRSA, how did MRSA start? MRSA started out when they started selling off the cleaning contracts of the NHS to private companies. Before, when it was within the NHS, it was perfect, no one got MRSA. But when private companies started coming in and, you know, giving people a low wage and whatever, non-unionised work, that's when, you know, disease started spreading in the NHS. And privatisation has always led to worse things. Ed Milliband is not going to nationalise anything back. He's not going to come in and say, you know what, we're going to repeal all the cuts they made to working people, all these disgusting cuts. He's going to be completely obsequious to everything that they've done and continue it. Unless a huge youth movement comes forward, a youth movement, a movement of elderly people that were there in 1945, a movement of middle-aged people who, you know, hated Thatcher and the Tories when they were kids, and they all decide, let's start an actual party for the working class. Because the Labour Party are disgusting jokes, and Ed Milliband, who went to school there at Haverstock School, I went to Burley, we had a rivalry, right, but it's nothing to do with it. He's a scumbag. He has no moral compass, and his father was a famous socialist, and I've read Ralph Milliband's books, are amazing. But his son has become this disgusting Thatcherite who's, you know, who poses no opposition to what the Tories are doing to, you know, and it's really sad. It's really sad. And there's a video of him on YouTube repeating his answers Just type in Ed Milliband repeats himself and you'll see what kind of idiot this guy is.